Hello and welcome to this microchip tutorial video on installing SoftConsole version 6 with Renode on Windows. There's only one main step that has to be taken when you're installing SoftConsole on Windows 10 and Windows 8.1, and that's to download a copy of the installer and release notes and run the installer with the administrator privileges. If you're installing SoftConsole on Windows 7, it's the same process as Windows 10 and 8.1, but you need to make sure that the Microsoft .NET Framework version 4.7.2 is installed before you install SoftConsole. And there's a link to the download page there, and it's also available in the release notes. So let's have a look at actually doing this on Windows. The first thing I need to do is download a copy of the SoftConsole installer and the release notes from the Microsemi website. And I can do this by going to microsemi.com/FPGA. Once I'm there, I can select FPGA and SoC design tools from the left-hand side. And once that page has loaded, select SoftConsole from the left. Once you're on the SoftConsole product page, go to the Downloads tab and select SoftConsole version 6 download for Windows. This will take you to the Microsemi portal account, and here you can log in with your username and password, and if you don't have an account, you can select New User down at the bottom. Once you've logged in, click on the link to start the download, and if you get a pop-up warning, simply allow pop-ups to let the download begin. While the installer downloads, I'm also going to download a copy of the release notes. So I'm just going to wait and let them finish downloading now. So now that they've finished downloading, I'm going to go into my downloads folder, and you can see I have a copy of the SoftConsole installer and the release notes, and I'm going to open up the release notes now. In the bookmarks and the release notes, I'm going to go to the installation section, the Windows heading, and then installing. So here it tells you to refer to the supported platforms for versions of Windows that are supported. It tells you the installer is a 64-bit GUI based program, and it gives you the name of it, and that's the installer file that I downloaded already. It says it needs to be run with the administrator privileges, and run the installer and follow the GUI installer wizard instructions on screen. The FlashPro driver's FP drivers install shield wizard presents the modify, repair or remove page, then select modify or repair and continue with the installation. And there might be a slight pause between completing the SoftConsole installation after the FlashPro driver installer has completed, and I'll show you this when I'm running it. And then it said if Renode is going to be used out of the box, or can be used out of the box on Windows 10 and 8.1, but on Windows 7, Microsoft .NET Framework version 4.7.2 must be installed first, and the link is there as well. And if you want to check if you have the version you need of the .NET Framework, you can go to the Turn Windows Features on or off control panel, and this will show you what versions of the .NET Framework you have installed on your system. So now I'm going to go and run the installer as an administrator. So once the wizard launches, I'm going to accept the terms of the license agreement. The next page is just some README information, and I'm going to click Next. Next I'll be able to choose my install directory, and then if I want to create a start menu shortcut and a desktop shortcut. And then I'll just get a summary of the installation, and then I can click install to get started. So now that SoftConsole is finished installing, the FlashPro driver's install wizard has come up, and I'm given the modify, repair or remove screen, and I'm going to leave it at modify. I'm going to let it install the default feature set and then complete the installation. And there is a delay between me clicking finish on the Flash Pro installer and the Microsemi SoftConsole install wizard actually registering that it's complete. So once that's happened, I'm just going to click finish, and I've successfully installed SoftConsole on my Windows 10 setup. So now I just want to check and make sure that I've installed SoftConsole correctly and that Renode is running. So if I go into Start, I can find SoftConsole in the Microsemi folder. So when you launch SoftConsole, you'll be able to choose what workspace you want. There are two included workspaces, a workspace.empty, which doesn't contain any projects, and a workspace.examples that contains several sample projects, and I'm going to launch that one. And the first time you launch SoftConsole, the C/C++ indexer is going to be running, and that means that you can't complete any commands until it's finished. So if I try to close unrelated projects to the IMAF Ray Tracer project, you can see that none of the projects have actually closed yet, and I'm going to just wait and let the indexer complete. So now that the indexer is finished, it's actually come up with several errors, and they're just saying that the projects I've tried to close aren't actually open, and that's because it had closed them already. So I can just ignore these errors and move on. Now, to check and make sure that Renode is running correctly, I can launch the external tool configurator, and there are two pre-configured Renode platforms. One is the Mi5 Renode emulation platform, and the other is the PolarFire SoC Renode emulation platform. And I'm going to just run the Mi5 platform to make sure that everything works. So now that I've launched the Mi5 platform, my Renode console has come up for me along with my Renode UART analyzer, and this shows that Renode is able to launch correctly. And once I terminate Renode, I can remove my terminated launches by clicking on the double X icon. So that's shown the SoftConsole setup and installation on Windows 10. The steps that were taken were to download the installer and release notes and then run the installer with administrator privileges. And again, if you're installing on Windows 7, you just need to make sure that the Microsoft .NET Framework version 4.7.2 is installed before you install SoftConsole. We have a significant amount of supporting material available on our website, and you can find it by going to microsemi.com/FPGA and then selecting the Mi5 RISC-V Ecosystem tab and then the Renode Webinar Series heading.